A hymn to human existence blossoming amid despair. Why you should read Boccaccio's Decameron. Dear readers, do you feel a heavy stone resting in your heart just by hearing the word classic? You might think it sounds difficult, dull, or completely unrelated to you. However, today's book I'm introducing is an extraordinary bundle of stories capable of shattering such preconceptions in an instant. That's none other than Giovanni Boccaccio's Decameron. Decameron is far from being the rigid classic you might imagine. Instead, it is a work that sincerely captures human emotions in their most raw form, filled with cunning wit, sometimes even bold and joyful love stories, and the darker sides of life. Regardless of your knowledge or sophistication, Decameron is brimming with stories that anyone who is human can feel and enjoy. Let's explore together why this book is essential for us and what it means. 1. The power of stories blooming amid despair. The birth of Decameron. Decameron is set in the mid-14th century during one of the worst disasters in human history, the Black Death. Florence, in Italy, became a hellish city where over half the population perished. People lost their loved ones, social order collapsed, and even the faint hope of having a tomorrow disappeared into despair. Amidst this bleak backdrop, 7 young women and 3 young men, 10 young people in total, fled Florence and sought refuge in a quiet country villa. They desired to find peace and stability in nature, escaping the fear of death that had gripped their city. However, anxiety and emptiness still surrounded them. It was then that a young woman suggested, "What if we each take turns telling a story every day to forget our sorrows and share joy?" This is how Decameron, or the 10 Days of Stories, began. The 10 young people created 100 stories over 10 days, each day with a new theme. In an era where death dominated life, they aimed to reclaim the beauty of life and human wisdom through storytelling. Stories became more than just a way to pass time. They became a powerful tool for overcoming despair and rediscovering the meaning of life. This very origin resonates deeply with us today. In an age plagued by pandemics, disasters, and widespread social anxiety, how can we find hope and continue living? The young people in Decameron show us the answer through the most ancient form of human communication: storytelling. Stories allow us to momentarily escape reality's pain, imagine new worlds, and form bonds of empathy and solidarity with others. This is the wisdom and courage we need to overcome difficult times and rise again. 2. A diverse spectrum of human nature into the 100 Stories of Decameron. The 100 Stories of Decameron resemble a comprehensive encyclopedia of human nature itself. Boccaccio introduces a wide array of characters from all social classes, nobles and commoners alike, clergymen and merchants, and portrays their desires, love, wisdom, foolishness, hypocrisy, and truth without restraint. This attempt to depict humanity as it is, free from the constraints of specific classes or moral standards, was revolutionary in its time. A. The many faces of love. Love is central to the stories in Decameron. From passionate romance to forbidden love, pure affection, humorous love, and even tragic love, all aspects of love are vividly exposed. Many situations are even more daring and imaginative than the plot twists in today's melodramas or romance novels. Lovers who craft ingenious plans to win their love. Individuals who suffer over love transcending social boundaries. Wise individuals who cleverly take revenge on their spouse's infidelity. Sometimes, the unashamedly honest portrayal of human desire and physical pleasure. These love stories transcend time, touching on universal human emotions. Their sweetness and bitterness, joy and jealousy, sacrifice and self-interest are all deeply embedded, allowing readers to empathize with the characters or sometimes marvel at their ingenuity. B. The wisdom of human ingenuity in overcoming adversity. In many stories, when characters face crises or unfavorable circumstances, they overcome them solely through their wit and resourcefulness. With eloquent words, clever tricks, and unexpected ideas, they triumph over challenges. Wise wives who outwit cunning merchants. Travelers who escape dangerous traps with clever words. Characters who shame those who speak ill of them with their own actions. These stories give readers hope that in the face of life's hardships, we should not become discouraged but instead use our intellect to persevere. They also delightfully demonstrate how human intelligence can be a powerful weapon, bringing a sense of satisfaction and joy. See harsh satire against hypocrisy and absurdity. Boccaccio boldly criticizes religious hypocrisy and the corruption of the ruling class. The hypocrisy and greed of clergymen and nobles at the time are illustrated with humorous yet sharp satire. Monks who commit all sorts of wickedness under the cloak of holiness. Individuals who seek unfair advantages through abuse of power. Those who appear devout on the outside but are consumed by inner desires. This satire holds a message still relevant today. It awakens in us the need to see beyond appearances and to maintain a critical view of society's absurdities. Rather than offering moral sermons, Boccaccio prompts readers to think and judge for themselves through storytelling. D. Fate versus human effort. Characters in Decameron are sometimes victimized by fate's cruel whims and at other times carve their own destinies through effort and will. While unpredictable chance can completely upend life, ultimately, the message is that human choices and actions hold the most weight. This encourages deep reflection on the countless decisions and their consequences we face in life. 3. Why read Decameron now? Insights beyond classic literature. There are many reasons why Decameron remains profoundly significant for us today, far beyond being just a collection of old stories. Evidence of human resilience in crisis. Decameron powerfully demonstrates how humans can reclaim the meaning of life and maintain hope even when death lingers in the air. In our current era filled with various social and personal crises, Decameron offers wisdom on how to affirm life, find small joys, and overcome difficulties through the strength of community. It reminds us that stories can alleviate suffering, suggest new visions, and strengthen human connections. Be a deep insight into human nature. Human nature hasn't changed much, no matter how much time has passed. The desires, jealousy, love, foolishness, and wisdom of the characters in Decameron are not very different from our own experiences in modern life. This book poses timeless questions about what it means to be human and why we act in certain ways, helping us find answers. It broadens our understanding of complex emotions and behaviors, ultimately providing an opportunity for deeper self-reflection. C. The value of life's diversity and flexible thinking. The 100 stories present the full spectrum of life without being bound by moral judgments. This helps readers understand how complex and multi-layered life is, and that there is rarely just one correct answer. It encourages a flexible way of thinking beyond binary notions of right and wrong, good and evil. Even when we encounter actions by morally ambiguous characters, we are prompted to deeply consider their motivations and outcomes. D. Enjoyment and rest through reading. Above all, Decameron is an enjoyable book. Its ingenious plots, vivid character portrayals, and unpredictable twists instantly draw readers into the stories. You don't need to force your way through difficult content to gain value, simply enjoying the stories is enough. It rekindles the pure joy of reading, offering a precious time out from our busy lives to expand our imagination. It can serve as an excellent introduction to reclaim the pleasure of reading and break through the perceived barriers of classic literature. E. A new approach to classical literature. Returning to the initial premise that the book is intended for people without knowledge or sophistication, Decameron can be enjoyed even without academic background. The human struggles, laughter, and sorrow within it belong to all of us across time. Through this book, we can realize that classical literature is not distant from us but deeply connected to our lives. Rather than getting trapped by rigid annotations and difficult interpretations, immersing ourselves in the stories themselves will help us develop a new interest and closeness to classics. 4. Conclusion. Life is a grand narrative. Boccaccio's Decameron is not merely a collection of old stories. It is a remarkable record of humanity affirming life in times of despair and seeking hope through humor, wisdom, and the power of storytelling. The stories born in the midst of despair during the plague instead illuminate the brilliance of life and the depth of human nature. Even if you feel you lack knowledge or sophistication, there is no need to worry. Decameron is an open treasure trove of stories available to everyone. As you turn its pages, you will find yourself seated with the young people of 14th century Italy in a villa, listening intently to their stories, sometimes humorous, sometimes provocative, and at times filled with profound insight. This book raises profound questions about how we can maintain hope amid life's various hardships, how diverse we as humans are, and how we can understand others around us. It offers the greatest joy and wisdom of reading during the journey of finding answers. So, don't hesitate, open Decameron. Inside, you'll find 100 precious stories waiting to enrich your life with depth and meaning. May the new perspectives and joy this classic brings be abundant in your daily life.